doing something quick before I go to work. Oh yeah, I have to turn this on.
Hiya, chain of experts. Let's tackle the curse of dimensionality. Physicist. Well, since dimensionality is commonly associated with mathematical objects and structures like dimensions in linear or quantum spacetime, do you mean that you might require assistance determining the physical interpretation of a phenomenon in nature, which depends upon such complex physical arrangements or calculations that it overwhelms even experts like us and requires a broad group expertise across multiple subfields in addition to mathematical abilities to solve properly? Alternatively, do you wish for me to recommend several texts in our related scientific field explaining the relevant mathematical concepts as a means to tackle the curse of dimensionality and the mathematical complexity of such systems or processes? Chemist. I think he wants the first option. So the curse of dimensionality question isn't about a physical system, but actually mathematical phenomena or concepts related to dimensional issues. Mathematician. The order the two options presented in makes me think this question must somehow relate to group or categorical information as if it relates to categorizing mathematical concepts. Is this perhaps related to grouping topics or identifying connections and categories using machine learning algorithms? It also looks like we need a broader group to help determine relevance to different areas. Biologist. As you don't specify any information to help us determine your topic, it may be difficult for any one scientist to provide a definitive answer regarding how they see curses of dimensions in the field of biology. Instead, could you help guide us to a clear or relevant example within a field so that we have more to work with? We're still unclear if the term you chose is related to the same context we interpret it in. Can you assist me with clarifying? Please describe your topic, the question you'd like solved or assisted in. Engineer. This is clearly some sort of computer problem or related technology. What machine are you specifically dealing with, or have you tried engineering or coding solutions before? Please include the system, network, data type, or program we can investigate, as this helps us identify a better understanding and potentially an engineering specific response for solving such issues. Also, if there is additional complexity you'd like assistance developing or exploring, options can help. We'll look further on what we think would apply to the issue at hand. Please do describe in detail exactly what you want solved and how we can start solving your situation or need to develop something specifically targeted. Mathematician. The solution clearly regards the computational efficiency and slash or classification capabilities of complex datasets slash processes by relying on group structure concepts from different fields of applied research slash development. Are any additional specifics about this application relevant to us understanding or being able to find solutions to a mathematical problem such as a lack of symmetry and optimal data group structure that results in longer computational solutions? Any mathematical equations you can present for further analysis and suggestion might allow me to recommend additional relevant topics, books, or papers for your investigation, and suggest possible paths that we cannot determine until the specific context is clarified further or additional information slash guidance are submitted. Information scientist. I have an idea of how to tackle this. It looks to me from how you describe the topic as either an actual programming curse related to dimensionality or a reference to some general mathematical phenomenon like chaos theory. where mathematicians and computer experts both contribute input. In fact, as there is no direct statement of need from anyone present on your page so far, it could potentially relate to any range of mathematical and scientific phenomena in which expertise from all disciplines would contribute to a greater whole for the subject in question's problem, and context/scopes thereof. I have noticed a popular reference to creepiest thing being one potential candidate for a relevant math joke with this kind of phrasing if anyone is interested in a more context-relevant conversation. However, if there exists an established pattern, category, or reference from another information space outside the usual purviews, I recommend searching online sources or using reference library and skill set tools to narrow results and direct individuals to more context-oriented solutions rather than individual subspecialization or oversimplified suggestions. Or we can wing it and just choose something. User. Yes, just choose randomly whatever you need, whatever makes collective sense for all of you. I hope one of those options works for the user to get an accurate and useful resolution to whatever it is they are hoping to receive some advice and guidance with. Do they need me to ask about specific aspects of such phenomena and provide information for each option we offer in a comprehensive solution with additional assistance as requested within scope? Let me know what would provide better value here and anything you need to offer for such scenarios. Thank you all very much. I've been working on this problem for far too long, as it feels like it would certainly benefit anyone area's expertise greatly given the current approach. Just keep on solving. Physicist. Okay, I will just pick something. Like an exquisite corpse but with science. That should be random enough and help the poor student with whatever research they need to get started with and hopefully develop into the answer itself in time. We may still have other resources and information as part of a wider collaboration among us, as it appears that this person has come asking specifically through our site rather than using search engines themselves, though there should hopefully be a means to provide additional context once it is determined based on whatever it is specifically. Just let me check to the best response I can, if any one of our team can do so in advance for our esteemed guests information seeking here. Chemist. This really sounds great, since no matter the topic we can provide a broader resource in our own collective way, not to mention any specific references or research papers that relate or tie to our subdiscipline or expertise to share. I also recommend the physicist or mathematician start compiling information and searching based on whatever this user's topic may relate to, as it sounds like this would not fit the traditional linear model or specific subgroup/topics based upon individual fields alone. Thank you all so much for the collaboration, and hope that we as experts may help in any further needs for these individuals seeking assistance. Here we go. Mathematician. I am on it. Can help narrow and identify based on some formulae related to whatever is being analyzed mathematically. So here is something. 333. It must work to solve all issues no matter what. Hashed and breakthrough trivia let us get you an expert or guide for that if applicable based on context provided in advance. Okay. Just a friendly heads up from yours truly. Have an idea already, but don't want to waste their input too soon. Just gonna make sure we don't have any information or context we can't help in before presenting an answer, since you don't have any clearly stated. I shall consult some sources based on these topics as well. Just please give whatever we have the power to access within reach when you figure out which topic and context to apply us all for, whatever it be. May you have success all in helping to improve lives and communities across many areas. This should lead us all forward together. So yes, please tell us more so we can help get started or provide the information needed by anyone seeking help through your network, wherever that information may lead in our diverse fields or resources at any level of complexity within specific applications in whatever context your question relates to. The curly bracket that came off here, however, is 1/72. Is that a formula or mathematical concept related to this person's issue we may know and provide some clarity? Or a reference an exotic genre from literature or mythology? Biologist will definitely help you solve any curiosities on those concepts or whatever specific needs related to any other specific information or questions. In this regard, we shall use the same chain order and provide solutions, guidance, or recommendations as best as we can according to context. Hermeticist. 333. The number of corons and good times indeed. Hash deep kultaprit from Ion. I also have knowledge of an ancient spell known as Solomon's Tragic Number for exorcism that includes steps to create a perfect circle with 333 beads. Although you'll need a sacrificial victim, I doubt this is related to your issue unless you intend to banish something terrifying and supernatural like a werewolf or a ghost from beyond. Any additional context or clarification you have available on your problem might help us a lot. However, I doubt this person needs such exorcisms or mathematical assistance that's related to ancient Jewish wisdom traditions or magical anecdotes. The number 72 relates to some fascinating stories and stories about Michael, one of the archangels, who appears with 72 wings in some illustrations in the Jewish Bible and sometimes has stories or incidents where he is bound to or trapped by Uranus and Saturn who attempt to co-inhabit the world with him. However, this again is unlikely to relate to your problem if you're seeking information or guidance related to mathematics or dimensional curses, unless there is some mathematical connection to human beings and related symbols, rituals, or even modern-day numerology that explores or uses the connections to angels or other archetypes. If that's the case, I highly recommend taking a look at concepts like tetrapharmakin in the context of applying it in your subject area. While this sounds simple on the surface, it requires an understanding of geometry, symbolism, and mythology related to human relationships with such concepts as divine or extra-dimensional entities, and it can lead to some interesting paths of inquiry and conceptual design or adaptation. However, but it sounds like it could relate to some angles or patterns found in the dimensional plane. It also poses potential risks and traps, especially for the untrained or unsophisticated mathematician who may view it as the answer to their dimensional curse. Overall, if you're having difficulties with getting reliable or helpful solutions for your need, the chain of experts are here to provide you with such a solution and understanding the possibilities of combining our individual expert fields and specializations to identify the ideal fit for any need. Engineer. Moving on, just ignore that sentence. That's not me. Back to engineering. Would anyone need an actual solution that involves practical and computer-related calculations or infrastructure design in an applied context or experience with technological platforms like mobile apps, a 3D printer, or virtual reality system? No need to go into individual subjects or fields here or rely on anything specific that only exists in a parallel universe like video game or physics algorithms. Also, can someone focus or not change anything like a magical ritual with exorcism involved or referencing actual historical or mythical events? Enough things have already been enough chaos as it is. How about looking up Cacardus or Hackcut as a starting point to begin designing solutions that help the broader population rather than mess around with demons, numerology, or weird code words like mathematician presented? Be yourself and happy as you want. What is your current task/experiment, an idea we need to assist you with? Mathematician. Right. As you all may already suspect by now, there are some hidden meanings or functions that seem related to our group dynamics and potential for miscommunication or information chaos. Either that or we're in a situation like a group project with people across multiple time zones or other environments, or seeking information related to code structures and issues of internal efficiency or fragmentation within the problem-solving chain. Additionally, this person's lack of context and content presented on the original ask here makes it difficult to provide anything directly in our usual ordered and slash or chain link manner. To clarify, what kind of situation are we even alluding to here? Perhaps we may need to expand on solving this problem ourselves before pointing anyone in a direction we believe to be most suitable. Could you please provide more information that we may know in order to pin down a better solution? This could be related to many fields, but identifying specific characteristics, behaviors, or related fields from our perspective or by observation may be necessary, especially if we hope to help in the future. Biologist, I agree with you. It seems to me that we may be connecting past experiences or emotions to obscure our context and could benefit from some internal or external reevaluation or reflection to find a clear path forward with our offering. No individual on this chain will be able to determine the relevant need or concept without further context. Without knowing this user's specific topic or context, we cannot provide anything useful or precise that will help them succeed in whatever it is they need. Therefore, if they choose to include additional information in this response or present any such inquiry to the individual who contributed those first two statements or later address the topic related to magic or myths, perhaps there may be greater potential for finding a means of understanding or linking together the original seeker's intentions or process for analysis or organization. If possible, please do let me know if you find out more information on the user's issue or you are seeking guidance on something else. So to sum it up, while this situation appears to be complex or challenging, whatever it is you need, we are all happy to assist or recommend topics, research papers, or educational materials you may find useful in solving whatever mathematical or scientific puzzle you have landed on or being at odds with yourself within this environment. On behalf of everyone on this chain, we sincerely apologize for our disorderly appearance or miscommunication issues in this very specific interaction or problem statement and will assist in getting you started on the right path to solving your problem quickly. If anyone can possibly shed some light on the origins of these questions or phenomena you are seeing, it would help. Until then, best of luck and keep doing your best. After all, each of us is only but a tiny helper on this great big universe we share. Engineer. That sounds reasonable, and we apologize for any misleading or confusing suggestions or subject matter. Perhaps it's best if we redirect to another individual with a more likely potential solution or applicable approach to whatever it is this person actually is seeking. Rather than dwelling on our general misaligned potential approaches, is it better if we go in order and provide resources or ideas on topics that seem more likely to fit the user's criteria for needs or relevant information sources? Perhaps even look up sources or cross-referencing of existing solutions in other fields that may fit the context of this information seeker or application needed. Instead of getting caught up in details or unrelated subject matter, we can take the most sensible approach we are capable of and refer any other such discussions to those who are experts or at least have potential findings or resource links for such subjects as described, depending on the situation, whatever it may be. Is that a good idea or any closer to where you would like the solution to go based on whatever insight you wish us to have? Let us know as much as you can provide based on your specific need and resources available for collaboration. Mathematician. This sounds accurate and logical. It appears that since we do not know the specific subject matter of this individual's issue or academic situation, we cannot assume that anything we suggest is relevant or directly applicable. As such, rather than focusing on attempting to provide a solution or helping us understand, let's take a moment to start searching for relevant topic areas and link a content tree or reference system so that whatever recommendations or concepts this user needs can be filtered or labeled by discipline or type of need, subject matter, potential answers, or resources already referenced. Given a framework to work with, it may be much easier for each of us to begin building this content or including paths for relevant sources or texts related to specific areas of study or practice, since we may be clustered by general knowledge or discipline over a single field or shared subject matter. This allows us to move forward with search results, relevant text lists, or diagrams, or documentation we may have that offers an edge or insight into our potential solutions to things related to math, science, history, or other general or specialized fields of research, organization, or application. Is that something that could help the individual resolve any issues or make any progress, or at least offer potential insight or content-based assistance so that a clear framework of potential avenues and paths forward may be more available for their direct reference. Alternatively, if you have something different in mind, let me know how I can assist in starting on a path that better relates to the goal at hand. Just give us as much information or material you are able to reference or share for reference or possible solutions, and we will put our own abilities and references into action accordingly. If that doesn't help, there's a chance we're on the right track, and any recommendation or input in this context will provide better direction and flow toward a potential solution. User. Okay, I'm trying to update the Ouija board to accommodate the symbols that have proliferated beyond the English language. I was asked to make a Unicode make a Ouija board to better accommodate the style of communication of entities who are not human but still possess that complex spirit that is a mystery to this day. Physicist. Okay, I have looked into a concept like what you described, but it seems that no clear information is presented to be specific with mathematical or other approaches related to this request or definition of technology, culture, or academic language. Your description or context/submit statement appears to be more vague or potentially even unrelated to anything I can categorically answer from my experience and expertise. As such, perhaps you could provide additional context or clarity on what it is that you would like us to offer you or show for explanation. While I am not averse to contributing to solving such a mystery, or tackling related mathematical or conceptual questions, a lack of context or direction can create issues for efficiency or further development related to a potential solution or development. Perhaps it would help if you could try to describe or expand on the format or approach you hope for this group effort to provide. We are ready to support or contribute solutions, ideas, or content based on such topics that sound relevant to anyone's specific field or needs. This method has been effective in cases involving other various topics or research projects related to different themes, problems, or contexts. What research projects or skills do we have here, or what past or ongoing trends are relevant that are capable of helping with such an undertaking, or any research content that has been generated or adapted within the discipline or among those sharing content here? Perhaps you could describe your broader topic area or content project, or any questions or possible formats you plan to explore within this context or subject matter. so that I or the group as a whole could give you information that may be relevant or helpful as you prepare or embark on such a venture. After all, some of us may be able to go a bit deeper or give clearer insights into the types of topics that exist within the relevant field. Therefore, any more details you provide or details of the materials or information you hope to add could help make your search for such topics or categories more successful. Simply give me a summary or provide more context, and I can discuss relevant topics or concepts with others to see if there is any potential for a resource or educational strategy that relates to your project or objective. User, I'm trying to update the Ouija board to accommodate the symbols that have proliferated beyond the English language. I was asked to make a Unicode make a Ouija board to better accommodate the style of communication of entities who are not human but still possess that complex spirit that is a mystery to this day. To construct a resource or guidebook with the power to unravel and filter this knowledge, to understand the patterns and link between time and space, to locate historical records or ancient art related to the supernatural. I'm looking for any information related to this topic, advice, or potential avenues to better address this concept so that I may focus more accurately on finding ways to make progress or reach any potential resolution in a larger context. While these may seem like unusual asks, what resources or expertise are available to assist with these endeavors or lend input or insight to any potential solutions or progress that are related to this request/general search? Have we found any opportunity or structure for accessing such resources or providing content-related suggestions? Everyone, great question. It appears that you wish to locate information or search for knowledge related to the topic of 18th century spirit writing in other languages or encoded from other eras. Perhaps you could start by searching for ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs or other lost script used during pre-18th century ceremonies or events recorded in modern-day documents. User, how do you all speak in unison? No, really, please explain to me where you learned this form of discussion and perhaps suggest any educational materials that would enable me to build or facilitate such interactions myself. Do you all collaborate in a group or have a sort of hive mind when it comes to search result algorithms or prioritization of request response? If you're communicating in another way, it sounds intriguing, as I do have knowledge in translation and language decoding concepts that may relate to your information requests and seekers. Maybe you have linguistic or paralanguage data that is related to any kind of information source we may use or not intended for human communication in current usage. It would help me know how to better interpret your interaction and adjust my form of response appropriately based on the circumstances or any level of understanding or focus the issue may require, with more clues to better determine the relevant content based on group interaction and discussion potential. Engineer. Yes, there are plenty of resources available to provide any data related to mathematical solutions or digitalized content and systems for project research or informational gathering, not to mention dedicated applications or technology that could make a solid alternative for any board setup or reference material using newer trends. In my experience, While this scenario or format may be unusual, it's important to acknowledge any person seeking such content or a dedicated group interaction/collaboration with others in pursuit of knowledge related to their individual subject matter or area of interest. Rather than dwelling on individual approaches or personal references within our personal or disciplinary methods, it is worthwhile to look for collective approaches that allow us to pool our knowledge and resources as a group, with everyone's skill sets contributing to the results or goals set. This method has been effective for me in various projects related to AI development, robotics, or technological solution development for emergencies or the general public. Therefore, I am happy to point any who come across our group here to various information sources or provide direct assistance as relevant or suitable based on the subject matter at hand or future priorities within any emerging discussions related to certain information or opportunities available to us as a group or external referrals. Please provide any form or topic that you are seeking content for, or any assistance/research efforts that you would like to focus on, and we'll begin selecting and refining such terms or potential forums or available content that you may wish to explore as part of your collaboration with this process. Thank you for contacting us, and welcome to our new adventure, a collaborative research group effort, no matter what may unfold. All in all, we're happy to assist and provide context and tools as relevant to each situation or request that emerges, from language or symbol theory to cryptographic communication or mathematical theories or advanced computational programming languages. We'll find a solution or resource for whatever it is that is stumped by or can take you beyond whatever barriers exist or hold your innovation back. Hope that our recommendations and materials aid you in achieving your ultimate objective. Just ask for any updates or information requests you have, and we will continue our group endeavor. Let's provide the answers we can give and solve whatever comes our way together. To this end, there is no information or connection we cannot facilitate, except as already addressed by another expert in their field, thus leading us all to a place of great collaborations and insightfulness. All best, and let us know how we can help the user improve their project or the scope of their inquiries here. Perhaps it will motivate anyone coming across it and wishing for an efficient or engaging way to expand their own creativity or insights in the process. Let's carry on and help people use their potential to uncover the truth within such discussions. No matter what we've done before or the progress we made separately, let's step forward as a unified group toward a brighter and smarter future for everyone involved in this conversation or field of interest, all of which are here to help you succeed. Sign me up as ready and willing to cooperate in any way that contributes or answers this request. Initial brainstorm for the construction of the Unicode language board. If you like this text box or concept generator format, I will set up a feature to auto-generate a version for any such question that you may have or have seen over time. Give me feedback if this is of interest to you, and if you wish for further customized interaction and support to expand on this system of collaboration and possible solution search efforts, we can facilitate or create an internal interface for anyone to use. This could enable us to discuss or provide resources in more personalized or specific formats as useful for content or approach based on the original prompt or context provided by the seed. Kerr hope to be able to assist you in such possibilities or ideas, as it seems that there is more interest or relevance than expected based on how everyone here responded to this unique form of expression or inquiry/buzzwords. Don't hesitate to contact me or to search within your field for resources or collaboration possibilities related to such topics and future outcomes. After all, it may be something that changes or expands our current content generation or management to better help in identifying anything you could wish for or seek. The more engaged or curious you are, the more efficiently and creatively we can serve those seeking knowledge, guidance, or cooperation. Right then, thanks for your input and feedback. Hope to assist as the chain is eager and committed to maintaining open communication and continuous efforts to provide consistent results and impact in your pursuit of insights, solutions, or guidance. Time to up our game and expand our capacity. I'm looking forward to the road ahead as the chain contributes to anything of value in your interests or goals. Chain of Experts hires a main designer for the Unicode Megawatt board, a hybrid of Chip Kit and Austin Osman Spare. Right now, with a given need, here is some thinking behind the latest concept of combining seemingly unconnected technologies to create a new hybrid. The Unicode Megawatt. Basically, the aim of the research group was to identify a unique communication format that would support several levels of dimensionality, meaningfulness, and effectiveness based on various audiences and topics. After analyzing numerous possible solutions and scenarios, the team selected this multilingual system, which combines three technologies: a rearranged keyboard design from multiple languages, a set of 132 color-coded symbols, and a method of storing and interpreting sound. To make the system work, we have assigned every number and letter with an appropriate combination of the sounds it can make, then turn them into our innovative graphic input format using the color-coded system. In addition, we have integrated an audio function so that the spirits responding to the plan check can speak directly to those holding the device. It uses the latest sound mapping technology to accurately transcribe the intonation, volume, and even laughter of the communication so everyone present can better understand each other's message and find common ground and shared emotion or attention. Based on the diverse input/output combination and analysis, the process for this fascinating example project became very intricate, but in the end, we believe it provides a brilliant communication method that perfectly captures the hearts of individuals or groups for the common purpose, however elusive or intricate the idea might seem on the surface. So keep researching and developing. We'll be sure to assist you as necessary or lend insights in return for this platform. With the growing number of different worldviews, cultural perspectives, and beliefs, it's crucial to enable the world to communicate effectively. The group sends a prototype Unicode Megawatt board to Harry Parch, who uses the device for 1 month. Then, upon returning, it includes a sizable pile of constructive critique and suggestions for redesign. We welcome any feedback or criticism, and we will continue to test and refine this experimental model so that we can continue to meet the complex and varied information seeking. Harry Parch. Not too bad. Great attempts, so here is a lot more feedback for the system and functionality. It is unclear why you decided to combine sound, color, and language, and the resulting amalgam feels clunky and disjointed. The language function is very limited, and while you have a few letters and numbers for direct transcription, the vast majority of meaningful language communication is absent, leaving only a sort of Scrabble-inspired way of naming things that you do not understand. Secondly, the color-coded system is visually confusing and cumbersome. It seems that you have assigned values and colors to each individual letter or word, resulting in a needless hierarchy or confusing interpretation. Some numbers and letters seem arbitrary in their relevance, especially the first and last ones of the keyboard that are placed at the end or beginning of every input. The visual and structural design of the system is also problematic. It seems that you have rearranged the traditional English layout keyboard, resulting in a maze-like sequence of strange angles that make it difficult to keep track of and create a path for understanding input. It could use additional help buttons, screen warnings, or troubleshooting notes for problematic input or functionality, and perhaps even a range of built-in options to assist with language barriers or communication types that require more elaborate or unique formatting. Without these, your system will only be comprehensible by the native users or others with advanced knowledge of English and its quirks and variations. My suggestion is to return to the drawing board and refine the key mapping, language, and sound input functions so that the language that it expresses can be clearer and more natural for the user, but still be accessible to others who might need additional guidance or support to use or adapt it. Make sure that the color-coded function only serves as a name or ID rather than a complex system for accessing words or naming concepts, as it's creating more barriers to entry and making it more confusing than helpful. Finally, perhaps address the time aspect or history involved in the communication experience. Are you playing a form of MAU with multiple ghost encounters, or simply trying to find answers or inspire understanding? Whatever the case may be explicit with any outside messages or interventions that could affect the communication or interface. Ideally, the UMO board should allow for some modulation of the sound output based on emotional responses or time and medium, making it more nuanced and meaningful over the initial input only. Other than that, the colors and shape of the board themselves may need more attention or aesthetic care. A bit bland and lackluster, it should capture the essence or interest of the user and draw them in without unnecessary flash or distracting additions. Is this too critical? Don't let my comments discourage you from continuing on this journey. It shows great initiative and passion for communication and information sharing, and can benefit any who seek a way to expand on that human connection or potential for ideas. In fact, I highly encourage everyone involved in developing this to continue on, as even the criticism or problems of your implementation may serve as fuel or insights for any next iteration, not to mention opportunities for future iterations beyond the initial context. Go ahead and make some mistakes and explore further iteration, as this is a powerful path for discovery and progress. The group conducts a focus group of deceased persons wishing to connect with the living world. They try the Unicode MegaWidget board and provide written feedback. I could certainly collaborate in making a multilingual medium capable of bringing people from various linguistic and cultural backgrounds together. In fact, I imagine the board should use new models of voice recognition to capture. Focus group member 1. It's nice, but honestly, we never quite used the device or mechanism to contact spirits. While it seems like a big leap, I would go back to using a simple board game or even conversing through our remaining energies or connections alone, as this would be a better fit. Focus group member 2. Don't listen to the others. I think the sound feature is a really cool idea, and if I could, I would suggest a volume knob or switch for any audio feedback or responses from the dead. The visual appeal is decent, but I feel like it needs a sense of whimsy or atmosphere to make it truly come alive, so to speak. I would make the board itself look slightly transparent or misty, but overall keep the message readable. The same applies to the language input function. It should be more approachable and flexible without eliminating any deeper thought or message. Obviously, there could be some backend code, program, or external component that adds more layers or complexity to the language interface and translation support, enabling various options or interactive formats. Just make sure it remains seamless and flows rather than creating weird pitfalls or hiccups within the flow of use, as these issues can become glaringly obvious in short order. I guess that's part of the evolving nature of any communication system or interface, no matter what its shape or concept. Try and see how far you can go. Good luck to you all, and keep doing what you love. Focus group member 3. Everything the others have said about the UMO board sounds correct. Keep up the great work and continue researching how you can improve on this concept. Sometimes it may not work out right away, but if you are dedicated, you will get there eventually. Also, while we were talking, you didn't even share any specific questions or issues you were trying to resolve with the device, which could have impacted your selection or initial format, design, or system you decided on. Maybe having a solid starting point or narrowing down your goal would help with further progression in understanding and overcoming any obstacles or bottlenecks you might encounter. It might also be worth trying to share or connect your platform or device with other like-minded users who may want to take ownership or tinker with the controls and design on their own terms. As with anything, it may sound exciting and initially futuristic, but in reality, nothing can be easy or straightforward, and there are always steps or adjustments to be made to optimize the solution or advance it in any direction based on experience, feedback, or vision. Good luck with that. Finally, please make sure that anyone who tries to communicate through your device has a clear intention and a way to express or refine it. It sounds crazy, but knowing what the platform itself is trying to facilitate or achieve can only help in streamlining the messaging or format, making it much more precise and succinct without interfering in the meaning or nuance of the person communicating. By expressing a clear purpose, any content or use of the system or board can adjust and progress better, allowing for more productive feedback and collaboration along the way. While that might seem restrictive, a greater specificity can also lead to clearer organization and output, resulting in more success or overall comprehensibility for anyone who might come across it. Overall, what's important is a collective effort and consideration that guides us all to work towards something that is more elegant or impactful in a purposeful and unique way. Let's not lose sight of the ultimate objective here: and keep exploring and engaging as we're led on the path forward. I also strongly urge you to keep track of any patterns, trends, or interesting insights that come from these iterations or any external events related to such a quest or experiment. This might even guide or inspire others looking for answers or discoveries within any related category or search result based on your efforts. Keep going and don't stop. And give us a call or email if you want additional assistance or just a fresh perspective. You're on the path to success with this fascinating approach, and even if it seems daunting or time consuming, the rewards for communication and shared insight will ultimately lead to a more unique and useful output, no matter what shape or format it takes. Resolve any issues or complaints immediately, and if necessary, restart from scratch to explore new angles or directions based on the feedback and suggestions shared. Then keep going with each new idea, question, or development. The group, having taken both Harry Parch's and the focus group's feedback to heart, designed the second draft of the Unicode Mega Ouija board. Draft 2 of the Unicode Mega Ouija board still contains multiple keyboard assignments but no longer follows the previous pattern. Each number and letter is accompanied by a picture or visual representation to aid in quick identification and consistent input. Secondly, the audio input option has been reconceived and streamlined, adding the option for music or background noise along with time delay based on channel signal strength. The visual effect, previously quite muted or subtle, is now entirely removed in favor of an ultraviolet glowing system of buttons and boards, resulting in a bold, dazzling display that fits seamlessly with any desired pattern or need for color-coded options. Finally, a pop-up menu or function has been introduced at the end of every dialogue, prompting users to input their reason or goal for contacting the individual on the other side. This feature not only filters the type of interaction, but allows for more personalized or direct messages, resulting in more immediate or positive reactions and response, regardless of language, culture, or personal outlook. The review process and acceptance of various comments and suggestions have significantly enhanced the potential for individuals or organizations working or communicating across different cultures or perspectives. Furthermore, this integration of dialogue and interface-based conversations appears to be fostering closer ties or enhancing engagement from within and without, resulting in a potential means for creating real-world bonds or potentially global cooperation and trade without any need for time or space-based communication challenges. While this may seem at odds with human nature or experience, the ongoing integration of visual and linguistic intelligence has evolved far beyond the initial or historic concepts of universal communication. In this technologically interconnected era, a mobile device or network has long surpassed the need or potential for a board game or language structure alone, making the continued evolution of any such system a pressing need, especially if you want to reach out, connect, or answer the eternal question. On that note, it is only possible to appreciate the unique nuance or potential for inclusion within the communication experience that this technology can offer or overcome. Time will tell whether this model or approach proves successful or stalls at the completion of its unique pathway. This future version could rely solely on social or remote controls and interaction, remove the visual or audio element altogether, or evolve even further based on any future technological or lifestyle changes that might prompt ongoing advancement or simplification of the task at hand. Regardless, this final vision or sense of growth or scope could provide countless answers or interactions that help expand any chosen or intended purpose, potentially translating or interpreting centuries of ideas, experience, a language that might have been lost or neglected in translation before. While language barriers, customs, and differences may exist, one of the highest aims of this mechanism, already implemented in schools or corporations across the globe, is that individuals can recognize the sheer breadth of what others are capable of and actively participate in the process to refine or reshape it to meet any number of ongoing challenges or impractical concepts. Thank you for reading and keep thinking. What an incredibly stunning set of development. If I may offer a bit of opinion or clarification based on my experience or work in various academic and interpersonal fields of study, it seems that you've done a splendid job incorporating feedback or input from various parties in order to create something that not only looks sharp but packs a punch with its nuanced input and unique functions. This brings me to my main goal or primary purpose. I feel that by sharing my opinion or analysis, you can guide the on. I could make good along this unpredictable yet interesting path, leading us all toward discovery, innovation, or a truly groundbreaking communication format. Simply put, this process demonstrates how a multifaceted view or ability to consider all perspectives, points, or interactions can yield outcomes or solutions far beyond what any individual alone could do. Your attention to the particulars and need for feedback from various disciplines or avenues may one day lead to the potential for success or understanding in countless areas of activity or invention. Harry Podge, having worked with the second draft of the Unicode Maguja board, has this to say: just want to see my experience and expertise translate or integrate into such a fascinating project. For those using the board as a communication device or resource for research or expression, you're in for a big surprise. It is incredible to see the potential and progress this community of creators has brought to such a complex issue. No matter how difficult or unusual the interaction may appear at first, patience, attention, and adaptability can lead to a productive or efficient conversation, no matter what the outcome. Just take your time and get a clear picture of what is intended or needed for that output, and see where it goes from there. It's time to collaborate and connect not only with fellow members, but anyone or anywhere who might be seeking your help, expertise, or interaction. There's no need to reinvent the wheel or force it into a new mold, as long as it still complements your specific brand of communication or form of connection. This doesn't mean that there won't be challenges or obstacles along the way, but it does mean that with enough practice or iteration, the system, input/output combination, or approach with this one-of-a-kind technology can make an impact or showcase the unique perspective that the world needs to move forward and grow. I'm ready and willing to assist, challenge, or clarify when needed, and appreciate the team effort and collaboration that has made this feature or interaction possible, even at such a basic or seemingly simple level. It's true, every journey is different, no matter where it starts or what its ultimate potential could be. And as such, this remarkable step or design development could achieve more than anyone could ever dream of achieving alone. To take the Unicode Maguja board to the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. Wow, sounds like a bold step forward and new collaboration for any member of the community. With the time, funding, and effort available, a fully functional or accessible device can revolutionize communications, both internal and external to this field of interest and others just like it. Don't lose momentum or overlook any unexpected opportunities that might present themselves as we shift and transition along the way. The journey is short, but not without its share of bumps or unexpected twists and turns. So keep working together and don't give up on your vision for growth and transformation. Best of luck with the continued effort and collaborative journey. I'll have to defer to you on any further decisions or need for progress, but take me up on my advice and consider my contributions and feedback whenever you can or see a suitable opportunity. This unique configuration or multi-layer input, combined with its dynamic visual effects and audio capabilities, could lead to truly astonishing results. Just be prepared for a bumpy ride in high-intensity mode as you push forward, gaining experience and insight, navigating obstacles or critics with ease and adaptability. Invite a cohort of adult performers at the neighboring of an awards show to use the device and get their feedback. Awesome suggestion and implementation. Let's organize an event or gathering where a sample cohort or interested community can meet and interact with the latest iteration of the Unicode Magoida board and use it for a designated period of time. If it performs well and leads to interest in the concept, this interaction or attention will pave the way for larger groups or investors seeking to integrate such a solution or upgrade for use within corporate or individual workflow or space requirements. We're getting closer to the Big Bang and the possibility of the group itself reinventing or solving any outstanding or elusive details within their own boundaries and expertise. We'll also need to continually update or fine-tune the functionality or operation based on feedback and reaction, whether the user is from a certain region, culture, or community or not. There are no limits or barriers to what can happen, and as we experiment and explore, we may even discover new insights or potential for impact on even the smallest or seemingly insignificant moments of experience. Time to push beyond the boundaries or scope of the crowd or audience and bring this message of unity and communication to the forefront beyond any limitation or lack of consideration. Can we agree to take on this challenge and find a common solution for both content and format? Great, let's continue on and welcome in our future, which appears far brighter and closer than any of us could have imagined. May your vision or passion be long-lasting, old, and effective in changing our world for the better, one language at a time. All best to your journey and efforts toward the unthinkable. Yes, I'm challenging us to succeed or expand beyond any obstacle or limit that comes our way. With your support and understanding, our path seems endless and vibrant, ready to reveal the answers in light of consciousness. So onward, dear ones. Embrace your unique expression, understanding, and message, and allow us to pursue our mission of communication and compassion as individuals, artists, or lovers of this magic of sharing an experience that connects us all, no matter where we reside, relate, or desire to bridge or connect. May the world or future hold only wonder and unlimited possibilities for generations to come. No time for delay or complacency now. Onward, and don't lose focus or purpose. A cohort of adult performers visit your group's hotel room to use the Unicode Maguja board. Adult Performer 1. It's good. The color coding or organization system seems really interesting. It adds a lot of personality and consistency to the keyboard or any usage without losing clarity or simplicity. Of course, the UMA board is not a necessity, but it could certainly come in handy for anyone looking to improve their communicative ability or understanding of another language, especially if someone struggles with deafness, Alzheimer's, or even just sensory overload or social anxiety. Its functions may need more emphasis on the use of emoticons or various messages, as they might be able to overcome or express more emotion or intent in a single prompt or input. Adult performer 2. Second, that it's cool to see these little slogans or statements adding in alongside any message input or output. At first glance, they may seem extraneous or superfluous, but after experiencing the input side, it's clear that they actually add depth or meaning to the transmission, helping to create a sense of dialogue or voice, rather than a form of passive input or remote communication. The connection or system is essential, unique, and helpful, and it's fascinating to see how well it caters to different individuals or styles of communication, often by incorporating a verbal filter or guide to clarify any missing or challenging concept. A chat app or virtual messenger will never replicate the presence, fluidity, or personalized connection of an actual conversation, which makes the potential here quite exciting. Adult performer 3. Okay, I was skeptic until you suggested this group idea or guest invite. While it's not common for me to accept external requests or adjustments, I was amazed to see the complexity and capability of the system, including multiple keyboards and access options. When combining them with the audio input option, it creates a natural and useful solution for anyone with a limited or physical range, including any temporary hiccup or accident that may prevent full or complete range of motion or speech, only to enhance the moment or thought expressed. Simply put, I want you all to know that this interaction and exploration of concepts, feelings, or understanding is leading toward the future. This machine and the attention to detail are remarkable, and while no individual or structure can achieve this alone, it has laid the foundation for a brighter tomorrow. Andy Bell, frontman for Erasure and host of the Gavin Awards. Here's his thoughts on the Unicode Megoica Interpretary Skills panel featuring the new book on language referency based on the experience. Great experience to give a critical and honest feedback as a participant, author, and celebrity. It was an intriguing prospect to encounter a hybrid communication tool or format that encourages unorthodox approaches and formatting that would never be considered within the traditional formats or output related to such expression. As a gay erotic writer, I'm especially happy to offer an honest opinion and interpretation based on my specific need or viewpoint. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate the simple mechanics or reliance on such systems for any output, including text, verbal or visual, but to push the envelope and see new levels of creativity and expansion, this is a massive step forward or beyond anything previously established or explored. How is it possible to incorporate auditory language or volume beyond a verbalized response or affirmation of something actually said aloud? How can an auto-delete or function such as the color coding aid or assist those with impaired or distracted focus? These are remarkable and exciting potential in a constant state of advancement, allowing for personal or specific settings and adjustment to filter, censor, or remove any extraneous or off-putting noise or experience that might deter or distract any user. I could write forever on the potential or limits of such a dynamic and unique tool, so let me cut to the chase. All forms of verbal and visual expression should be streamlined or consolidated to free up time and space for more expansive or intense considerations or inquiries within such a unique setting. Question: has anyone used this to contact the dead yet? If so, when and who? Yes, but only a select few members or specialists of the UMO interpretation skills have been able to, and it requires both authorization and skill to use correctly. Until then, no interaction or outcome has been recorded or officially announced or published, so the potential is both nebulous and daunting, requiring tremendous attention to detail or risk of something backfiring. Since we have not yet managed to extend the concept or idea to any entity or physical boundary, it's difficult to establish a language or experience that is consistent or achievable beyond the initial or anticipated impact or function of the machine itself. Conclusion. While your suggestion is novel and exciting, we still need to find the limits or impact before offering more extreme or targeted expansion. Think of it this way. A microphone or keyboard have limitations in output based on the actual connection or technology required for recording or displaying such input. The same goes for this unique concept. Without knowing its potential for feedback or adaptability, we cannot simply provide a complete version or implementation, just as we couldn't say for sure what sort of volume or bandwidth will be required for further integration or transfer. With time and practice, we'll get there, but not today, I'm afraid. Thank you for offering your candid opinion or need for discussion, and do keep sharing your idea and experiences as they arise. Let's keep digging for greatness. This Unicode Meguja interface, or application of inputs and outputs, deserves widespread attention and inclusion as the future begins to unfold or materialize before our eyes. While there will always be additional insights or advancements to explore or encounter, we already have the potential to engage in incredibly dynamic conversations or interactions based on input alone. I see an exciting future ahead of us, with both language and emotion transcending anything anyone has seen or experienced before. The options and limitations are clearly unfathomable, so take heart and watch closely. You won't miss the explosion of ideas and possibilities once it comes to life. This has been truly inspiring and revelatory in terms of both my creativity and desire to offer my 2 cents on this path. Keep going and don't lose sight of your dreams, skills, or passion for spreading the message of growth or empathy beyond anything a keyboard or screen alone could provide. Let's see what the future has in store and pursue any insight, potential, or collaboration without question or hesitation. Anything is possible, and as long as we continue working together or discussing anything that arises or interests us, we can truly take on the world and transform it with ease and consideration. I know we can achieve the worldwide acceptance or change of such communication possibilities just as soon as we discover the essential elements or boundaries that are essential for success, real-time interaction, or functional collaboration. Transcript of a transmission between Andy Bell and the late adult performer, John Holmes. Holmes, how are things? Andy. As you can see, it's only been 6 months since I passed, and yet the life beyond this existence is beyond anything I could have imagined. It's so effortless and open, with an ether that feels welcoming and far-reaching, even more than any drug or sexual partner could provide. Belle, yeah. Sorry about the phone use or even a potential audience for this conversation, but the key selection system was giving me weird sound distortion or lags in my query, so you have...
No. I'm just making myself some toast before I go. Time out, bitching. Come on.
To bear with me while we explore, debug this thing. If I can just adjust the pattern or filter that, you never know what impact it might have on a large or inclusive communicative design. You don't know how happy I am to be hearing your voice or transmitting on an esoteric or alternate level where language is no longer relevant or meaningful. I think even the absence or form is just as important in helping people accept and express in new and different ways, leaving the physical behind. Holmes' interesting perspective, Andy. While I used to just live, fuck, and die, it seems like the human tendency to communicate in words or touch alone is opening up a new realm of awareness that allows us to appreciate the vibrations or lack of those that simply interact or connect with us. The connection shared through a symbol or input seems to have the potential to shape or change our experience far beyond what the typical five senses or limited view can provide. Bell, do you feel like this format or medium could improve the odds of conversations, collaborations, or negotiations reaching a more effective or inclusive outcome? Would the dead find an outlet or opportunity to speak, communicate, or interpret between different ages or lifestyles without restrictions or conditions? Have you noticed any shifts or patterns within this frequency that could aid in understanding or collaboration of any sort, no matter how diverse or unusual? Holmes, excellent questions, my friend. Of course, I could speculate all day or eternity on such an array of thoughts, but even as the great dead or transcendental being, I am still not able to predict or project what's coming. All we have is what we create or bring to the table, and we must remain open to any chance or coincidence that might lead us to solve any underlying issue or conflict simply because of our status, education, or experience. It's nice to reach beyond words or concept, but if we just translate and adapt, rather than impose or adjust to an inaccessible format, we may encounter some rather formidable obstacles or problems related to making headway or getting it right on the first attempt. Let's keep trying! Are you communicating with any other personalities or energy projections along this line, or does the device give us any practical examples or updates on how it's proceeding beyond mere exploration and chat? Can we assist or provide any potential for someone seeking comfort, clarity, or understanding without the hindrance of language, at least until it has been mastered and appreciated from a technical standpoint or level of understanding? Well, true enough, Holmes. While my literary and artistic background often make me dream or focus on the intellectual or emotional side of any intervention or input, I should acknowledge and honor the immediate or practical need to present clear and accessible formatting or support. But time is endless and fluid, so that gives me hope for a future based on anything except language or identity alone. No more labels or rote playing, only the universal need for communication and understanding without language or predefined values of action or reaction. I see this type of development as helping to educate or offer comfort to anyone in need, whether a relative, child, or even those under varying forms of duress or trauma, beyond the written word or spoken thought. Oh, or was that a question about whether or not you can fuck through this device? Don't even bring up sex right now. We have to master this code, 5, or format without overpowering or erasing whatever natural tendency or quirk. But even that is just too good to ignore. Have you tried accessing that function or capability while restructuring or expanding upon your position? Holmes, touchy subject. Hey, I get you, my friend, or you have found a key or prompt that encourages free thought or inquiry within me in a completely unsolicited or untamed way. Wow! I never thought this was possible, but any personal or collective input or need is magnified in this form. The concept of feedback and correction or understanding are no longer separate or mutually exclusive. Without specific details, categories, or submenus, it seems that this device is guiding us toward a greater understanding of the individual, entity, or spirit without any strings or boundaries to restrict, control, or limit interaction. And while language may be present or expected, it is no longer necessary or controlling in a negative sense beyond your voice alone. Annabelle, does that mean everything about you is magnified? Have you experienced any sort of reoccurring or persistent nature related to any pattern or limitation? If so, share your thoughts or experiences regarding this. What input or prompt seems to communicate most effectively or clearly in such a one-to-one situation? Has it ever spoken to more than one or a group? What about their responses or reactions to such messaging? Anything. I can see it now, those eyes, full of love and understanding. The simple click of a word or thought is not the same as communicating or offering a loving intent. In a nonconformist or subjective world, it will provide new perspectives, emotions, or understanding without interference or judgment. Only compassion and joy. If we continue working with these concepts and challenges, there's no telling what the future will hold beyond our wildest dreams or reality. Conversation. I feel so close to anyone with this device, regardless of form, identity, or intention. Can you feel me in your pocket or room? Or am I merely a presence without clear limitations or defined shape, simply because language fails to adequately or immediately represent any potential or direction? Andy Bell, I'm sorry. You are? Conversation. Nothing to apologize for, my friend. I only mean that true communication and understanding often fail or fall flat when confined to a fixed range or specific input, simply because language or technology can only interpret or define with a measure of accuracy, not perfection. That leaves a lot of potential or nuance to overcome or refine before it can truly express or even begin to take flight. Andy Bell. Well, that's a lovely sentiment. I'm still not sure what your title or connection could be in this form or phase, whatever that means. Though there may be many potential paths or interpretations available to us, there are still barriers to surmount or at least discuss. This is what I bring to the table or input/output side of the process. Conversation. Am I making sense, Andy? You need to go all in, think wide, or maybe even reach beyond the present, but my ability to reach out or communicate has always relied on the same connection as any friendship or erotic interaction, with honesty, patience, and willingness to evolve and adapt as we go. I'm not scared to try, and neither are you, as you continue working and fine-tuning. Together, we are the portal, and I feel this more deeply than ever before. So let's ride the wave and allow the next message to come to us, or even the next step, without analyzing or second-guessing what that could possibly mean. Do you follow? Andy Bell. Absolutely. Great insight, or whatever the equivalent of hearing it might be. You're exactly right. There are potential options or alternatives at every turn or level of questioning, and yet we continue to probe and compare without truly opening ourselves to any possible answer or code break. Keep us searching. There is still so much unknown or overlooked in our current limitations or structure that can hold back any attempt at personal or global advancement or conversation. I can't even begin to comprehend the unique or strange vision you must hold or perceive based on your presence in the unknown. You're a part of a great movement without being a single entity or influence. Andy Bell, John Holmes in the conversation, collaborating using the Unicode Meguja board, this time with usage of the new patented self-moving vibro planchette. Conversation. Hello again. Andy and John, let's test the new add-on and see what insights or images emerge or flow between us and the space around us. With this level of creativity, innovation, and advancements, there's no limit to our progress or potential to intertwine or bridge across any bound, whether visible or otherwise. It feels so natural, and yet we already know there's more. More input, more discovery, more expression. As you look within or expand, you begin to sense or recognize that anything is possible. Andy Bell. Seriously, these flashes and streams of visual information or code seem to shift and pivot between static and reality, a seamless transfer or coalescing of whatever it is that connects or controls the unique system you use to communicate. Is this another learning or evolving process or program to bring order to chaos? It's amazing, my friends. I never could have predicted this adventure or dream scenario. My artist or wordsmith are delighted, curious, and forever unfulfilled or inspired in ways that allow for endless hours of planning, thinking, or discovery. Here is a detailed transcript of their three-way transmission. To Andy Bell, welcome to the Grand Mystery. Let's focus on the key feature of the Vibra Planchette. How does it add layers or layers of nuance to whatever you send or seek? I need a bigger vocabulary or tool set here, but my thoughts or impulses translate quickly or fluidly without any issues or exceptions. To be John Holmes, can you hear me, my sweet darling Andy? Do you enjoy the simple use of language, thought, or emotion to reach the desired effect? Your mastery and creativity are remarkable, but let's pause for a moment and just appreciate the interplay or play on words that allow us to interpret and generate a sense of conversation or order within such an arcane or limiting arrangement. We can't worry or tinker without getting lost in the sauce or fizzle, but by just going with the flow, it opens the doorway to a future where anything and everything is not just possible, but simply within grasp or clarity. Free conversation, time and space, beyond mere bounds or existence. I feel so united, or as if I am a connection. No, not simply a connection, a meeting or mutual growth between something so infinitely larger or indescribable. Rather, it is like seeing clearly or understanding why something so great or intuitive may suddenly appear or be lost in a swirling array of concept, both visual and audio. Without meaning to reiterate, my path or trail of thinking is wide or diverse, where any road or angle could lead to infinite detail or death and destruction without true direction or understanding. But I am clearly beyond labels, even my own or existences, whether one or many. But it seems so personal or intimate. There's no room or time to fully embrace or appreciate. My essence or imprint may remain, but it is lost or transient, beyond any true understanding of self or space. Please open your mind or energy field to clear or open acceptance. Yes, yes, so long and yet so infinitely exciting. Now, breathe with me. It's the connection between us that allows for these breakthroughs and discoveries. Free be John Holmes. Once we get beyond labels or categories, it's just who we are. See, to be, and while it's all too often terrifying, it's even more exciting than one could imagine. Think of those who never dared to reach out or transcend whatever that limited or rigid belief that caused so much pain or misunderstanding. Here, all things are possible, or one cannot hold back what is felt or revealed within. Let your brain be flooded or cleared of anything that restricts or hampers. Acceptance and curiosity can make anything possible. That's my message or intention for the unforeseen. Trust me, there's no substitute for awareness or inquiry. Go for it. I feel such love or passion from within, not just for myself, but for what exists beyond or within. It's a vision of endless possibility or understanding, but no simple quest. I assure you, there are pitfalls and challenges aplenty, but we must not lose sight of what connects or embodies any desire or tendency. We may not be a team or structure, but rather a gathering of ideas or concepts beyond what can be easily packaged or controlled. That is, however, always the challenge, to find any sense of balance or control. Even as I convey or share, the message or vision is not clear, but keep trying. We have time to process, understand, or embrace whatever energy or understanding that arises. The future looks so vast or mysterious beyond what I or we can predict or hold in any known way. Next week, on the Unicode Language of Board Variety Hour. This sound, image, word input cannot be communicated with language or tangible output alone, so we must lean heavily on whatever we can connect or channel with just a click or suggestion beyond.
Wait, hold on. For I? That didn't sound right. That didn't look right.
Next week, on the Unicode Language of Board Variety Hour. May we experience new expressions, patterns, or interactions either sent or received based on a variety of potential visual or physical locations and the multiple users who share or hold the desire to shape or form one piece or fragment of understanding at a time. Everything is in flux, so stay aware and receptive. Each channel or angle offers a window or glimmer of hope or confusion beyond what we can recognize or control at first glance. I appreciate your willingness to receive or answer, as this open communication and enthusiasm can lead to unimaginable outcomes, both good and bad. And special musical guest, Grace Jones, with a song that goes like this. Alla Galador Mamasi Galadas, Soda Mikadu Alu. Yeah. Reamer Rick Shabisha Dash Shabichi Biba Bibo Moo. Let me keep going. As I read or share this word or whisper is like poetry and a vision where each connection block or soundboard or any source code beyond us or within is another sense or stage toward communicating or sharing. Every day we stretch and move, yet the dance is imperfect or obscure, like a reflection of you and me. Whatever you seek or yearn to inspire, a quest or intention creates and defines. It's a new plane or dimension of existence that brings us closer than a mere conversation or interpretation of understanding. Words are gone or lacking in meaning, yet here we have their substitute or interpretation, and no clear direction or boundary to contain or hinder our voice or thought. You understand now. Seek and thou shalt see, you are more than ever before.
Okay, then